All right, so now the first part of his scheme, I'm starting out in dollar. You know, everybody has their own defense, but but this was actually one of the sets, one of the defenses that I went into thinking, you know, it might work for me, and it put me like in a worse situation. So typically in this set, we're probably going to take the inside linebacker. I'm just gonna just for right now, I'm just going to drop him back in deep zone because typically we would roam center field or probably try to take away the first read that breaks over the middle, right? So again, I'm gonna just drop him out of coverage. So for this um his first play, there's two options basically. All right, so he's going to look for square on that quick inside release. The man checking square is actually on the outside shoulder, and there's basically he's going to have to run through traffic. So a lot of times it creates a pick. So he's able to just do a quick snap and a quick bullet to square, hitting him as he's breaking upfield in stride, and that can get five, and sometimes he can catch and run for another 5 or 10. And so on this play, it's square on a quick hit, and then on the backside, in case it's zone, the flat, in this case R1, the flat actually pulls down the underneath coverage, and then circle basically cuts right on top of it. So, and then if we're just too focused on either edge, of course he has X right up the seam, and it's a unique route. It's not a post, it's not a streak, but it basically it creates problems. So that route actually will get between zones, and then obviously with it actually breaking in, it looks like it breaks. There's like two or three different cuts. So in man coverage, it creates leverage, and with Josh Allen's cannon, you know he can actually get that there. So this play alone like presents a lot of problems. So I'm gonna go ahead and start with the left side. So So now again, the man coverage, that part can be really pesky, and I think I was controlling the cornerback so he didn't react. So I'll do it one more time. But first, let me just hop into the replay. So again, I have my second controller on that cornerback, so he didn't react. But basically, this is what it's going to be. It's going to be a quick strike, and he'll also try that like in the red zone. Um, this actual play, and if you and you're probably going to try to jump that, and then when you jump that, he'll have circle on the back side. So so what happens is by instinct, our first counter to that play, you know, is to manually jump square. Right, so I'm gonna just man him up because I can't control both joysticks at the same time. So when you do that, and you have a three man front, Josh Allen will do this. He actually at one point in the game, he no huddled and ran the QB sneak 7 straight times for 80 yards. And I was like, there's no way he's going to call it again. And Josh Allen doesn't. Of course, he fumbles here. Um, Josh Allen doesn't fumble in the game. I'm not sure if it's an ability that he uses, but and I don't want to make this video too long. But okay, so that's the first play. All right, um, so we'll go to zone, and I'll just pick a random zone here. So you'll go to zone to put more guys in the box to try to stop the QB sneak. That quick inside release from square is still there, so you kind of have to cheat over there. But again, now on the backside, zone opens up circle. Actually, it was that was the hook zone, so that one opened up the flat. So let me give a better example. Okay. Well, the flat is still open, but basically, uh, that underneath defender, he basically is put in a position where he has to make a choice. He's going to have to cover two guys over there in the flat. Oops. All right. So the underneath defender, whether it's him, whether it's a corner outside linebacker, he's either going to take the flat or the 5 yard in. And with the spacing, he can't cover both. So again, he loves that play inside the 5 yard line. So I'm going to do it one more time. This time I try to force the defender to cover the flat, and you'll see this. Well, my defense never reacts like that, especially with a deep defender right there.
56, 56.
So this is what I typically see, and it's like wide open. And then when it's wide open, that's making me cheat over to that side. And then of course, when it's wide open on that side, it opens up this quick strike for a square. So that right there alone, that's like his base play. He'll stick with that for majority of the game, mixed with a quarterback sneak. And again, that's a pain in the ass to cover. The quick release from square, to cover, the flat down and in combo as well as a quarterback sneak. And then also what happens, let's say if we did cover zero, it's wrong defense.
Middle, 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 middle,
Again,
middle.
the outside defender actually has the inside guy, so um he still creates basically a pick. And then if you try pressing, which I'm not a fan of doing in cover zero,
56, 56.
let me
Stop, stop, stop,
cover
stop, stop.
zero, space a line, press. Um, that triangle route, he has an outside release, so it seems like when you're in press coverage for whatever reason, they kind of whiff on the first part where it's like breaking to the sideline, and then when he breaks upfield on the wheel, he actually has a step on his on the defender. So it just presents a lot of problems just this one play. So now when you're actually trying to combat that, when you go to zone,
Regular, regular, regular,
let me
regular,
pick
regular, regular.
any zone
Two,
coverage.
52.
So man coverage will bottle the screen up, but any zone, uh, he'll just create. Um, basically, it spreads the defense out so wide that this screen is
Alert, alert,
is
alert.
deceptively effective. Obviously, we have the lineman breaking out, but with three defenders to the far side, to the right side of the screen, um, more times than not, there's not going to be enough bodies on the left side to get over here, and we got three linemen pulling out, and so he's actually got a few big gains on me. So he doesn't get me on that anymore, but the first few times I saw it, it gashed me because I was in preparation for the first play. So now, if you take away the first play, you take away the halfback draw, you take away the screen, um, he has where's it at?
Stop.
This play. So in this play,
Stop, 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 stop. Gun.
and my
Gun.
mistake, I didn't have the audibles. This is actually pick somebody right here. All right, so basically, it's just a corner route. And with Josh Allen's cannon, he'll get that out there in a hurry, and you basically can't react to it. So it puts the defense in a compromising spot because there's just so many parts of the field to defend. Um, the I don't want to say it's cheesy, but basically, he's become so comfortable with this scheme that he won't actually leave it. He'll stay in that same rotation the entire game. You can get him to guess wrong a few times, um, but I've actually, again, I put this in practice. I figured out, what makes it tick, and uh, I don't want to actually. Well, fuck it. I'm actually sharing the tip. So basically, the first thing I'll do, and I'm not sure how quick you are, um, with your adjustments in game, especially if he's doing no huddle. The first thing I'm doing if I'm playing man, I'm flip flopping their assignments. So the outside guy, the point man on this side is always going to break outside. Or most times, I should say, on most of the plays he does. And the back guy, the back receiver, he's more times not going to break inside before he does anything. So I just manually switch their assignments. So now he has the inside guy. He's in much better position to take it away. So I'm gonna go ahead and just try that. Boom. So that's the first thing I'm doing. Now I'm not actually doing this play because this particular play on defense still leaves me wide open for the inside zone. Excuse me, the quarterback draw. But I'm going to have a more aggressive approach. I'm going to blitz. But again, while I'm blitzing, when I do, I won't blitz in one defense because I feel one defense will just give him time because he's just running 4 plays. He'll find something. So I'm just going to keep it mixed up. I'm gonna blitz. I'm gonna run zone. I'm gonna call cover 3 and make it a cover 4. I'm gonna call cover 4 and make it man coverage. So when he sees what play I was after the snap, it's never going to line up. So I'm gonna keep him on his toes and hopefully, um, because Josh Allen, he has the ability, the Omaha. So after you complete enough passes, he'll be able to see exactly what you're doing. So hopefully you don't let him get to that point because if he can see um, what defense you're in and he has you spread out, um, yeah, it becomes just that much more difficult. So again, it makes it tough just sending an all-out blitz anyway because we're spread so far open, and these are our quick releasing routes. And I'm rambling now, but I got through. So yeah, that's all the plays. So all right, what's up? So, breaking down his 4 play rotation. Every once in a blue, he may add a fifth one, but it's truly a 4 play rotation. And shit, let's jump right into it. Now, I picked the Bills only because he has Josh Allen, and I didn't want to waste of time going through exhibition and trading Allen to the Ravens. But basically, Josh Allen is what makes all of this click. So when he first started doing this scheme, it was brand new to him, and he was like really rusty. And he made a lot of mistakes, and I capitalized on it. But he's had, I guess, a whole season now doing this little scheme. It's just a 4 play rotation, so he's actually become pretty efficient with it. So the first play he does is it's right here. So he makes one adjustment.
Five boy, five boy,
Well,
five boy.
technically two. Basically on the back side, on the right side, he's going to put the and he'll run it vertical as well, so you can't actually sleep on it. But
Regular, regular, regular,
primarily
regular, regular, regular.
on the back side is going to be a flat and a curl. I'm sorry, not a curl, a down and in. So what's happening? The first read he's going to have is square right here. Okay, and the defense, they play like superheroes in practice mode. Um, and I'm gonna pull him back for a moment because typically if and I'm in a dollar cover 2 man. Typically in this defense with everyone spaced out, the user's probably going to take this middle linebacker, and we're probably going to sit in center field and try to take away the first read. So because of that, I'm gonna just pull him back just for a few snaps, so I can actually explain the offense. So the first that's his first look. So that could be man and zone, especially if in zone coverage if we're actually not cheating over here. If we're like I guess center field or if the spacing is good, he'll snap and he'll that's his first read. So he'll take that. Sometimes you may get him for 5 yards. Sometimes he'll catch 5 and take it another 15. So that shit is pesky. So what's going to happen? Depending on the defense, and I'm just stick with this defense for now. But depending on the defense you're running, you're going to actually start cheating and trying to take that away, especially when you have a three-man front. That opens up play number two. He'll let the blocks develop, and he'll run a quarterback sneak. And Josh Allen does not fumble. I've heard multiple users complain through so far. He's probably run this against me. I stayed in this defense during the game, thinking there's no way he's going to do it again. He no huddle and ran that play with Josh Allen 7 consecutive times for 80 yards. So it's truly a threat. And it doesn't seem like it. 8 yards, 7 yards, 12 yards, but he literally went 80 yards up the field before I had to just burn a timeout from him doing the quarterback draw. So let's say we go. There was one other adjustment from his first play. So on defense, I'm gonna put the defense. We're gonna go zone. So the other part of this play, the right side. So if you look, pull up the defense. So I'm doing this with both joysticks in my hands. All right. So on defense, what's going to happen? The underneath defender, he's actually going to have to pick his poison. So depending on the defense you're in, he's either going to jump to the flats and take away R1, which opens circle wide open, or vice versa. Sometimes he may sit on circle and the flats are wide open. So again, that's not his first look. So he's not looking over there like right away. But in the red zone, like inside the 5 yard line or so, fourth and short or third and short, he's almost always going to go right to circle. So be mindful of that. So I'm gonna show you both examples. So our flat defenders are going to jump circle. So it's going to leave that wide open, and it's not much, but it's enough to make you respect it. And he'll again be doing no huddle. So you'll see that a few times, and then what's going to happen? You're going to make an adjustment, and you're going to try to take away circle. Excuse me. You're going to try to take away the flat. That's going to open up circle wide open over the middle. And I got bumped. He was wide open. Let me do it one more time. All right. And wide open over the middle. And that shit gets pesky. And again, inside the red zone, that's a touchdown every time. Well, not every time, but you have to be aware of that. And again, if it's a weak box while you're setting all that up, he's just going to go quarterback sneak, let the blockers clear, and take off. So that's essentially play one. Play one, we got the quick strike to the right, to the left side. We got the flat and the down and in on the right side, and he's going to mix in the quarterback sneak after he gets your attention to either sideline. All right, so play number two, when you actually start going zone coverage to try to defend this, because in man coverage, let me go back to man. All right, so notice the guy in man coverage, the cornerback that's the furthest out, he actually has the guy in the rear on the stack, and on the stack, almost every route. I'll go through the play screen as well, but almost every route, the second guy in the stack is almost always breaking inside. So it creates a natural pick. So just be mindful of that. If like you go cover zero, and if we went cover zero, we may actually bring our guys closer in. And I'll just go ahead and so that inside release, like he just doesn't have the leverage. He's too far out to do anything without you manually, adjusting to it. So play number two. So, once he's actually recognized that, that square route alone will probably break you out of man. So you go to zone and then you open yourself up to the screen. Now the screen, he doesn't do it often. You may only see it like 4 or 5 times a game, which doesn't seem like it's not often, especially how frequently he's going to stay in this formation the entire game, unless he, I guess, unless you take it away from him. But again, what's going to happen on the screen? It's so effective because the zone, excuse me, not the zone, but this formation, it spreads everything so far out, so there's not enough bodies on the left side of the field, and we got 3 linemen pulling out there. So wow. I never got sacked on the screen. Let's try it again.
56, 56. Subs, subs, subs. Look out.
And I don't have to really describe a screen to you, but basically, um, the defenses you start like the natural instinct to take away that quick slant or to take away the backside or prepare yourself for the quarterback draw. You're probably going to put yourself in a position where you can't properly defend the screen. And I can stop his screen now, but the first like 3 or 4 times I saw it, he just had perfect timing. There was nothing. I couldn't stop it basically. All right, so you defend the quick strike to square on the left side. You defend that flat and that down and in on the right side. You take away the quarterback draw. You prepare yourself for the screen. So now play number 4. Let's go to
Alert,
a
alert,
zone.
alert.
I'm not sure if it actually beats man or not, but he seems to only try it on zone.
Six.
So
Half, 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 half.
basically, he's looking for the corner route on the left side of the screen. And if he doesn't like what's happening, he has like a clear route with circle coming underneath on the right side. So he'll hit circle, but he's trying to try and go downfield. And with Josh Allen's cannon, without you making an adjustment, you can't stop that corner route with base coverage, with a stock coverage. And then if you actually change like the zone depths, um, doing that actually makes you really vulnerable um, to the screen. Which you put your defenders deep, the screen is going to be shallow, obviously with a wall of linemen coming over. So it is like a pick your poison type of 4 play rotation. And again, in the midst of you doing all of that, it's no huddle every single play, and he's gonna take off with Josh Allen, and Josh will again not fumble, and he'll fall forward. So now I'll actually everybody's defense is going to be different, but so for me after practicing this, I'm gonna play more aggressive. So the last 2 times I played this defense, I didn't send any pressure. Actually, I didn't think I could send pressure because I'm spaced out too far. But I practiced against this. I'm gonna be more aggressive. Also, a few things. I'm not sure how quick you are, like pre-snap when you're making adjustments. But I did highlight earlier, and there's probably a better play in the in here to highlight this, but I'll just make it quick because I'm rambling on now. But again, I did point out that almost on every play, the rear guy in this stack breaks inside, which actually puts the corner out here in a compromising spot because he has to again. In some cases, get between 2 people just to get to his guy, and he rarely makes it there. So, um, I haven't done this yet, but my game plan is to actually manually switch their assignments. So now he's going to take the guy in the rear, which is going to get the inside position. He's already there now. So let me go ahead and I was hoping he would have picked it. So I'm gonna actually do it again without moving him because in game I wanted to actually I don't want to give anything away, and I'll be center field. So let me just move him over there. So I just switched the assignments and wow, he still got beat. But shit, maybe I'll have to pull him off the line of scrimmage a little bit. All right, so I just switched their assignments again, but I plan on being more aggressive, and and he's still getting beat. So I how would I say? Again, I'm being more aggressive. So, but I'm also so I'm going to mix in some cover zero, cover one. I'm going to also disguise a lot of shit. So I'm gonna call man coverage, but I'm gonna actually switch it to cover three. I'm like pretty fast in making those adjustments. I'm gonna call cover four, and I'm gonna make it a cover two. I'm gonna call cover two, and I'm gonna make it man coverage. With 2 deep safeties. So basically, at the end of the play call, when he sees what play I was using, it's never going to mirror um, the play that he actually saw on the field. So just to keep him on his toes, because these reads they're just basically catch and releases, and if you can actually confuse him on that catch and release, you may make him throw a mistake. And also I'm going to send some pressure because Josh Allen doesn't get blitzed because you're basically paralyzed, trying you're compromised, I should say, trying to take away the quick read to the left or to the right, or the deep corner or the screen, and the QB draw because the defense is too weak. So let me actually go one or two more defensive fronts. So let's see, big nickel. I hate when they do this. I have to actually pick a play before the formation becomes visible when I use two controllers. Let's see, big nickel. Okay. All right. So now this big nickel set, right? I got six in the box, so less likely to run against this one with Josh Allen. But again, on the flats, actually, shit, that play worked. I didn't even use any adjustments. All right. So let's go to his base play. All right. So of course that's open. Let's check the square. Square is not there. Also, he's patient enough too sometimes that square releases in, but if it's zone, he can actually just wait until he gets outside. Try the QB draw. Okay, no gain. Let's try it one more time. That was my mistake right there. The controller took over. I'm gonna do it one more time. 6, 7 yards, still too many. So it's actually the crazy part is I have this this entire formation in my playbook. I use it completely differently than him though. But yeah. So it's a pain in the ass. All right. So he has really a four play rotation. Now I've actually had this same formation and set. I don't abuse it the way he does. So this is actually one of my favorite plays from the formation. He rarely uses it, but I'm going to use it just for the first example, for that inside releasing. It ends up being a post from on the left side of the screen, but it kind of starts off as like a slant. It gets vertical, and then of course, it breaks into a post. But basically, uh,
I picked dime, two-man deep right now. And in this defense, if you were to pick this defense, typically a user is going to pull down a safety, or they're going to roam center field with this linebacker and probably try to take away the first read. So for that, I'm just going to drop him back and show you this. Okay, so he'll use a different play, but that was a better example. What's going to happen on his first play in this money scheme, or money play? I'm not sure what the hell I'm gonna call it, but basically in man coverage, the second guy in the stack basically takes an inside release on like 95% of the plays. I'll go through all the plays. It's only like 13 plays in this formation, but almost with the exception of one play, he takes an inside release on every play, I think. And in man coverage, what happens is he's actually, because it's a stack, he has to line up outside. So because of that, he has a lot more ground to cover, and that quick release with Josh Allen's throw power, he's basically never going to make it there in time. Um, and then also what'll happen every once in a while, he'll collide with his defender. So not only will this guy actually be wide open, the guy going up the sideline will be uncovered for maybe 2 or 3 yards. So man coverage definitely puts a strain on the left side of the field, to say the least. So let's go to the second part of this play. So his actual play is this one right here, and it doesn't look like square takes an inside release. Um, oh shit! Drop my controller. Give me 1 second. I'm working with two controllers here. All right, so let's pick his play, and he'll set it up like this. I'll explain the backside in just a moment. But here on the left side of the screen, again, square doesn't look like he has as far as an inside release as he did on the previous play I just did, but a quick pass lead in, he'll still have the same effect. And most times he'll catch it at 5. You'll tackle him. Sometimes he'll turn that 5 into a 15, so it becomes really pesky. And again, I caught it in this case at 3, and I got the ball at the 40. So yeah, depending on where they spot it, that's a 7 or 8 yard gain. So this is his base play. He'll actually sit in this play over and over and over until you take it away. Um, so again, square, this play right here, it actually gives a better example. It better illustrates that inside break that he does. But again, it's mostly on this play with the pass lead inside. All right, so now what happens is if you actually on this play, if you start trying to go zone, to clutter that up, that play actually still gets underneath zone. And that's my mistake. I had the computer controlling. Dig, I got to put the computer on the D line. Okay, so right now I just went to a basic cover 3. We'll pick the same play on offense, and he can still get that, and that's still another 8, 9 yards. So you really have to give attention to it, and when you actually put a lot of attention to it on the backside, he'll have again a flat. Wrong play. On the backside, he'll have a flat, and he'll have a down and in. And your underneath guy, he's either going to take the flat or he's going to actually sit on circle, and he'll just hit whichever one is wide open. Boom. And then when you actually start trying to take both of those away, because now you actually have to focus on each side of the field. Let me just go back. And just for the hell of it, let's say we're still over here. We're going to cheat on square manually. And let's say after a while, we actually may pull a linebacker to take circle, because circle keeps killing us on that dig route. So let me recreate his play. And then what happens is, and that was probably a bad example, but we open ourselves up to that unique post over the middle. It's not a post, it's not a seam, but it's just like an inward breaking vertical, basically. So And then when you actually start defending all of that, we'll go ahead and man him up over here. You start defending all of that, and we have a weak box. He'll just follow his guard upfield, 8 yards, 10 yards, 12 yards. And at one point in the game, in our last game, he actually ran Josh Allen no huddle 7 consecutive plays. I was surprised he didn't get tired for 80 yards, 7 plays, 80 yards. And each play, I'm like, no way he's going to do it again. Okay, he did it twice. He's not going to do it 3 times. And then after like the 7th time, after I've given up 80 yards, I had to burn a timeout because, yeah, he will really walk up the field and he will not fumble. So that's the first play. It's fade out. So we got the quick inside release by square, and then on the backside we got circle or R1. He really isn't looking for X unless you just dare him to throw up the middle if he's like just uncovered. Um, but that's not his first read. And then let's say if we were to go cover zero, just move it over here, and I'll pick a different formation in just a moment. But in cover zero, again the that inside release, it's there. This time you don't have safety help. So if he catches that in stride, square could be a huge problem. And then also, this wheel route, if he actually gets just a second, that could create separation upfield. Now this time the safety, I was in sprinter, so the safety actually had the wheel route, so he wasn't at the line of scrimmage. If I pick something like nickel, let's go something like this. Okay, so if we were to go cover zero, right here, also cover zero from the nickel, then puts the defender, the safety from the opposite side of the field in compromising spot. So you have to telegraph yourself to move him over, and again, that's just going to open you up, and that's leaving that backside naked. So not only is the drag there, but if he can buy some time, that will route, I forget who he has at that position, that receiver, but that will route could actually, with Josh Allen's arm, that will route could be a problem. And so the second play. All right, so if we go to play number two, so play number two, he's only going to run it in zone. Man coverage shuts it down, but it's just a basic screen pass. The downside is the right side with 3 players is going to take away so much attention. It spreads us out that there's really not enough bodies on the left side of the field, and we have 3 linemen over there pulling. So defending that screen is also something that you have to key in on. When you go to take away the screen and the quick strike to square, that curl flat combo on the left side. Again, he can still run this play verticals and hit you up the seam. He doesn't do it all the time, but it's still an option. He has done it, and all of this is happening with no huddle. But then that opens up play number 4. So with play number 4, let me go to cover 3. Play number 4, he's just trying to get triangle on that corner route. And then if he doesn't like the corner route, he'll check down the circle. And with Josh Allen's arm and his arm strength and abilities, you can't defend that corner route without making an adjustment. And let's say if you change your zone depths and you actually have somebody sitting on that, then the screen pass is going to kill you. If you actually pull too many people back in coverage, then he's going to run a draw. He's going to draw you to death. And if you keep sitting in zone, the backside actually is going to. Let me go ahead and dial up the play. The backside again, it's actually going to the 3 routes: the vertical, the in, and the flat. It's going to put us in a compromising spot where. So it is challenging. So a few things. If you are going to run, I'm gonna be very aggressive when I play him. If you are going to run man, the first adjustment that I've made, if I'm and I will run some man, I just won't do it all game. This guy out here, I'm not going to leave him in man coverage versus an inside releasing route. So I'm going to manually swap their assignment. So what'll happen is Uh, when square cuts in, the cornerback, hopefully he can jump the route, but basically the cornerback is going to, the inside corner, the nickel back, I should say, he's in position now. Actually, they're both in better positions. So that the outside releasing route by the point man, he's already outside, and I think I had the controller sitting on him, so he just froze. But the inside guy, he's there. I would like for him to react faster, but basically, he's in much better position to defend that inside route. Now, also, if I'm going to run man, I'm not going to run nickel, or I should say cover zero. Let's see, because this is not my actual playbook. What example would I have? Um, shit. Okay. I thought I had it here. Let's go cover. Let's go man blitz. Okay, so it is here. It's hidden. All right, so I would go like nickel wide or and there's the other one. I like nickel over as well. All right, so the thing I would prefer with either nickel wide or nickel over versus any of the other nickel formations like the 2-4-5, the 3-3 or whatever. Notice in cover zero, the safety actually comes across the field and he lines up on top of the tight end. I showed you with the previous formation when I was in dime and the other cover zeros, he's going to be lined up over here, and you would have to physically. Um, that's actually wasting a lot of time, especially someone that's doing hurry up. So if I was to start in this play, and I will use this play, just not consistently. Again, I'm my first adjustment. Um, I'm flip flopping their assignments over here. All right. Obviously, the box that I have over here is going to take away the the draw. I'm not even worried about the that inside releasing route anymore, and I probably can cheat over here. But again, you can't do this consistently because you show somebody to just look multiple times. You can just make a hot route and call a corner route and and kill you with that. So I'm rambling now, so I'm gonna go ahead and cut the video. All right, so I'm gonna break down his four play rotation really quick, and I'm actually gonna give without telling you how to play your defense, but basically um, just a few pointers on basically not having your defense like in a compromising spot. And you can, use your own creativity, your own scheme, but implement a few things, just to make sure you're not being taken advantage of. So his base play, actually, the crazy part is I've used this formation maybe twice a game, if that, for like the last three Maddens. So this is actually my favorite play out of the formation. He barely runs it, but I'm gonna start with it just to illustrate. It better illustrates in practice mode what he likes to do. So his actual play, which I'll go to in just a second, is uh is this right here. But I'm gonna go back to again to the play I typically use. So look at square. It's basically on this stack. Almost every formation. Excuse me. Well, let's just go to the plays. Almost every play in this formation, the rear guy in the stack, he has an inside release. Whether he ends up breaking it inside or outside after that, his initial release is basically inside. So look at all three plays at the bottom, inside release for all of those, and square. If you look at square, post will, he does a curl. So that's the only play he doesn't have an inside release. And then on stick nod. So there's two plays out of this entire formation where that guy doesn't have an inside release. So basically, I'm telling you, he's going to break inside virtually every damn time. So what's going to happen? The cornerback that's out here, I got the wrong controller. The cornerback that's out here in man coverage, he's to the outside, and he has to go through a stack through two people to. So he's basically never going to be in position to deny a pass lead right here to the inside. So that's his first read. And if we're going to play this defense, we're probably going to be in center field, looking to take away like the first slant or inside breaking route. So I'm going to put him, just for this example. So, and I moved them out of position. So let me go ahead and cue that up one more time. All right, so square, pass lead in. So he'll catch it at 5. He can turn it to 10 or 15 in some cases. Get a broken tackle, even more. So that's the first pesky thing that he's going to do out of his formation. So let's actually dial up his play. So now his play, square, again, it doesn't look like, it's not as drastic as that post I just showed you, but that inside is going to be an inside release before he gets vertical, and he's going to pass lead in, so it's going to have the same effect. That was my mistake. Now the thing is with this play, initially I tried to, have my defense like shade inside. It's still a outbreaking route, so you may catch him the first time, but if he just holds onto the ball for a second, he's now beating you when he does the down and out. So boom. So that right there becomes, a challenge, and naturally our instinct becomes to, if you're in this defense, to manually shade over to that side. And you have a weak box. So if you do that with just a 3-man front, Josh Allen's going to QB draw you to death, and he doesn't fumble. On one particular drive, he ran Josh Allen versus me 7 straight plays for 80 yards. And like the second, third play, I'm like, there's no way he's going to do it again. He just did it. Okay, 3 times, 4 times. 80 yards was like a wake-up call, like, dude, call a fucking timeout, because he's not going to stop doing this play. So you can't really go with the 3-man line because he's actually just going to run it. He's going to wait like 1 second, whichever way the blocking develops. Or if you have a superstar or X factor, he'll double team that person, and he'll just pick. It's a 5-on-3, so he'll just find the open lane, and Josh Allen will fall forward. So now in the same defense, if you actually start to go zone, let me go back to his play. Now square, let me peel him off so the computer could play zone defense. So I just picked the basic cover 3. That's what's set in the audibles right now. It'll still get underneath. So it's more dangerous of a throw, but when you're playing defense, if your zone, let's say if you shade it too far in because you're trying to protect from the QB sneak, that play still will open up. And shit, I didn't mean to throw it that slow. But basically, the quick read is there, so it's going to get your attention. So what's going to happen is on the backside, the second part of this play, again, he's going to put the slot defender, in this case it's tight end, R1. He's going to put him on a flat, and he's going to have circle on a quick down and in. So in this case, our purple, who's over there, it's still man coverage. So our 4th cornerback in this play, who is the curl flat in the purple zone, he's either going to take R1 or he's going to take circle. So he basically is just going to pick his poison. You take one, he's just going to hit the other. So in this curl flat, he's actually going to sit on circle, leaving R1 wide open. So he'll just wait, let you clear out a little bit, pick up easy 5 yards. You broke a tackle and made it 10 yards. And then I'm going to do the same play, but I'm going to force him to actually take the flat. Let me go ahead and cue the play up. And then that's going to leave circle wide open. Now he'll also do that same exact play, that combo, in the red zone. So inside the 5-yard line, watch that. He's going to look for that flat and that down and he's going to capitalize on that inside the 5 yard line. So that's play number one, basically in a nutshell. We got the quick inside release, technically on every play, since every play breaks inside, um, with the exception of two. Square is always a threat. It doesn't matter which play he calls. Square is a threat, just a quick hike and a pass lead inside. And then on the backside, he could also leave it like this and run vertical. So let's go zone. That was a bad pass, but basically, um, it's a lot to cover. So while you're actually trying to like protect yourself on defense versus the QB draw, the quick strike from square, that flat and that down and in on the backside, on the right side, um, he has a jailbreak screen. Now with the screen, obviously with three guys on the right side, there's just not enough bodies on the left side of the screen, and he typically only tries to run it versus zone. Because man, sometimes they can cheat up there and actually defend it. But basically, it's too many bodies on the opposite side of the field to actually defend the screen. We're gonna have three linemen pull out, and man coverage is going to be the best shot. But again, man still may put your defense in a compromising spot versus everything else. But so you actually have the screen to worry about. You have the QB draw. And again, the quick strike and the backside down and in. So that's going to bring us to play number 4. His final play. Final play is basically only 2 routes he's looking for. He has a corner route from triangle, and as a check down, he's actually going to go to circle on that drag. So we're going to start with zone. And just gonna to clear it out, just put square on the streak. So he's gonna the streak is gonna make the cornerback peel off a little bit. You cannot defend that corner route with Josh Allen's arm talent and his throw power and his abilities without a zone drop. And the problem is, you do a zone drop, you're gonna open yourself up to that screen. And you put too much attention over there and peel guys out the box to defend that, you open yourself up to the QB draw. So it is a pesky pain in the ass scheme to defend. And the thing is, he actually will only stay in that 4-play rotation because technically, if he makes the right read, each one of those plays can beat something. They can beat cover 4. You can beat man. You can beat cover 2. So let's go to a different defense really quick, and I'll wrap this video up. So now I mentioned I took this to practice mode, and let's start with I'm gonna go with 2-4, and let's go over Storm Brave. Okay, so now the actually let's pick one more. Okay, so it's good to know 2-4 defends it a little bit differently. Let's try 2-4 odd. No, we'll go 2-4 double meg. Okay, so with this and a lot of nickel sets, what's going to happen when you go cover 0, the safety, he's on the opposite side of the field as the tight end, and that's a quick read for him. So by you having to pull the tight end, your free safety to the opposite side of the field, that's a quick tell, and obviously you're vulnerable on the left side. So if he was to go, there's really nobody out there to defend the screen. So you're going to have to cheat on that side if you use if he calls the screen. Also versus cover 0. Let's see. Wrong controller. I'm trying. So I'm going to be more aggressive, but the first thing I'm going to do when I play man, I'm actually going to this inside guy. I'm going to manually put him on the receiver that's going to break inside, and I'm going to put him on the outside. So in theory, he should be in better position to defend that quick inside release. He misses the tackle, of course, but basically he's in better position. So that's going to be one of my first adjustments. I am going to be more aggressive, and I'm going to use a nickel formation at times. Let's go. I'm going to go to nickel over, and let's pick that play. That's the wrong formation. I have to cancel out of it. All right, wrong controller. Bear with me. I'm kind of uncoordinated using two controllers at the same time. Okay. All right. So in nickel over, the safety already lines up on this side of the field. All right. So that's one less adjustment. You don't have to peel him all the way to the other side. So again, it still is two people on the back side. But as I mentioned, if I'm doing this, I'm going to actually switch their assignments. So he's going to have the inside guy and vice versa. So he should be in better position. All right, I'm going to do a few other things. I'll spare you the details. I won't actually bore you with the adjustments. But also, this six-man box, it takes away the threat of the quarterback sneak. Now on the backside, you do have a few things to worry about. Also, if you're going to leave this guy on the island, that he, depending on what cornerback you have out there, if the blitz doesn't get there, he is going to have the corner route all by himself with his number one receiver. So if you don't sell out on the blitz, you won't actually be able to stop the that corner route. Even if you take one guy out of here in coverage, you're not going to get back there in time. And then also, if you're doing press man, this is a free safety and a strong safety. They cannot press. Safeties cannot press, even if they're in cover zero, unless you manually bring them up. So, but again, depending on your safeties, that's probably something you may not want to do. It will be tight end in the slot and receiver number 4 right here. So it's not a true mismatch depending on like his personnel versus yours, but myself personally, I'm pretty fast at making my adjustments. So for example, I'm going to come out. I'll call cover 2, but I'll make my cover 2 man coverage. So at the end of the play, he'll have no idea that it was actually man. He'll see cover 2. And I may actually cheat over. This is probably a bad defense to give that example. But basically, I'll quickly switch from cover 2 to man coverage. Or if I do this, if I call cover 4, I'll make it a cover 2. Then so again, at the end of the snap, basically he's never going to see what I was doing. So he'll see cover 4 and think I was in cover 4, but it'll truly be cover 2. Or if I call cover 3, I might make it cover 1. So I may make it cover 1. So again, that'll just basically keep him guessing. So I'm pretty quick with the adjustments. I'm not saying that you have to do that, but if you do go man, you're going to have to recognize that this guy is never going to be able to deny that inside release. And if you shade under, if you shade underneath, then this guy, when he actually does, in this case, Stephon Diggs, when he does the wheel route, that's a touchdown. So shading underneath, you have to watch out for that. If you shade inside, inside may put you in a better position to take away the inside release on square initially, but then he's butt naked open on the sideline when he does the down and out. If you shade outside to take away that, not only is square wide open, but now X is going to be wide open over the middle. If you shade over the top, then you're never going to take away this quick strike. So there's challenges, and again, I'm making adjustments, but just understand where you're vulnerable at, so that way you can make the necessary adjustments, and just maybe set your audibles, because there's going to be no huddle once he gets a completion going, or once he sees something he likes, he'll no huddle 10 times in a row. All right, so I hope that helps. And I made this much longer than I anticipated. I'm not even sure if you stuck around for the whole thing, but I hope it helps you. I plan on embarrassing his ass and shutting this play down, this little four play rotation down. But good luck.